Action. All right, I'm back. You back. We back. Just like a smart hole, you already know it's me, your girl P, your favorite bitch, and your favorite witch. Welcome to this week's episode of Postscript. We're gonna jump right into it with our first segment, P's favorite pieces. The only thing I really want to talk about is that I'm proud of myself for, maintaining my eating experiment for the second week. I've still been doing low carb, low sugar, low calorie, all the good stuff. So yeah, really proud of myself about that. Just been breathing air, eating lettuce, and drinking water, if we're gonna be honest. All right, I think that's all I got for this week. Questions that need answers is, why do the internet just hate everything? Like, cause Finally Over is so good. I love the album. Oh, amazing. So like, why y'all on the internet act like y'all don't like it? Like, whatever, I don't got time. And then obviously that slides right into our next segment, which is bar for bar. And we are obviously going to talk about Fuck My Type, because that is the song that I have been waiting for over a year for somebody to drop. And then the sneaky sleeper that really has me in a chokehold is the last track on the second disc, Finally Over It. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, it's feeling like I probably got to walk down out of that song. Like, it is just... oh my God, and I can just already see it. But like, because I already, with my other wedding songs that I already wanted like a live band anyways. But I'm like, oh, with the orchestra, with the harp player, anyhow, that is just like the most beautiful thing ever that I've ever heard. So those two songs have me, I can't stop listening to them. Like, I cannot stop listening to them. Thank you so much, Summer. Thank you so much. And then with those two songs, and then like the video, like, to the Fuck My Type, it was just... it made me feel so many things. Like, it said so much. Like, even though the video is like very simple, kind of, it just has so many messages within it. Like, so that is going to also relate to this week's Conscious Cunt. And it's like, I really fear that I may have to marry for security and not love, or like security that then eventually turns into love, but like love not being the thing that makes me want to be married. And that I don't mind if that's what I have to do, but it's just not what I want to do, if that makes sense. Because like the Fuck My Type thing is just like, all right, whatever, like, I'm giving up my broken heart for a good life. And then like I feel like with Finally Over It, it's like, she says, are you sure you want to share your last name with me? Baby, I do. So I do. Like, those two songs are just, girl, I love those two songs. So it's just like, it's things that as I get older, they start to become a realization, because it's like, you're going to come to that fork in the road at a point in time. So it's like, you either going to be accepting of being in a relationship that allows you to be secure, and then eventually, like grow to love that person because of that. Because I know I'm the kind of person who would be able to more than likely grow to love a person if they're able to make me feel secure and provided for. But I would like to love a person that makes me feel secure and provided for, like, in that order, if that makes sense. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but just like as I get older, certain things just be like, yeah, this is your reality now, so what you gonna do? And then honorable mention, last thing I want to talk about off of the Finally Over It album is, for you people pleasers and you people who just feel like, oh, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, or I don't want to say no, or I don't want to this, that. The song No is an affirmation for you. You need to listen to it every day of your life. No. That's it. Like, that is immediately how the song starts and ends. No. That's literally what you need to just listen to that over and over and over and over. Recite it to yourself. That is a good affirmation. I like to use songs in that way as well. So I don't know. I don't want to say my idea and somebody steal it. So I should probably just keep that to myself. But it's going to eat. I promise you it is. And it has to do with like music. So, and affirmations. So yeah. For our last and final segment of this week's show, hashtag I cannot make this shit up. The first thing I want to say is, of course, we talked about Mercury being in retrograde already last week. We also talked about Venus being a Scorpio. So those still are influences that we're going to carry over into this week. So the first thing I want to talk about for this week is on November the 20th, we are going to have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio, and it is a super full moon. And then also that same day, we're going to have Mercury Cazimi. And as I talked about before, Cazimis is when the planet Mercury and the sun are in direct alignment with each other, and so they just like have like a little, you know, handshake emoji moment. So with Mercury being the translator, transposer, it is, you know, the things that are going to be highlighted, I feel like, because Cazimi is in the heart of the sun. So with the Mercury being the planet that transit is going to happen with, it just means that the things that are about communicating and, you know, getting messages across, or like tech and like travel and plans and things like that, it might, the complications with those things may be, you know, brought to the light in that day. Because also, not to mention, Mercury's in retrograde. So it's the complications that we're like, you know, noticing and being like, oh, that's what that was. All right, blah, 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 blah. And because it may be a complication of like things, like you understanding things, it might get to a point in time where it's like word vomit. It like everything just comes to you. Like I was saying, like okay, and it just be like, oh, okay, all right. Now I really understand and see everything that's happening. In the same sense of that word vomit, just be aware of what you say and think about, you know, your text messages, your emails, who you sending stuff to, all that good jazz. Right. Because this isn't the time for you to be over promising and under delivering, because you could have just shut the fuck up. That's how I feel like when people when people like volunteer shit that I did not ask for and they still don't do it. Like, you could have just shut the fuck up. I didn't ask for it anyways. Like, ew, get away from me. So trust your first mind, which is your gut. Whatever little, like, I don't know how you all receive, you know, I don't know, messages or whatever, or if you all even do, or if you just have like a little voice in your head, whatever your consciousness, whatever it is, whatever you've been hearing or like seeing, or be like, oh yeah, yup, it was that thing. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to do that. Please do it. Like, listen, receive the message so it can stop telling you the same thing. And then, of course, on November 21st, that does officially welcome in Sagittarius season. Happy birthday to y'all. And then the other thing I want to say was, when I was listening to my girl Maddie, she's an astrology person that I really like. She was saying that the way that the last two seasons of, like, you know what I'm saying, November and December work is, no, what she was saying was how the transit from like November to December usually works is with Scorpio season about the feeling, the mood, and like the intensity, and, you know, the depth, and like how I said last maybe 2 weeks ago, go get deep or go home. However deep you go, she said, with the Scorpio stuff and the shadowy stuff and the Mercury, like the murky stuff, is once you address it and face it head on, you'll release it, so it allow you to fly higher in other parts of yourself during Sag season. So whatever you face and you take head on in Scorpio season, it will allow you to release it and then have a great Sag season to lead into a Capricorn season and lead into a great rest of your year. Right. So that just relates back to me saying, think about whatever message you've been hearing or seeing. What's the thing that you've been like feeling uneasy about, the thing that's been bothering you, or just like, you know what, I need to do this. And then to take it back, like I said, you know, last week I was talking about Venus being Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is in its detriment. So I told you that it struggles to have pleasure. So right now you may be feeling the effects of that as well with the new moon that's coming to Scorpio. But you also have the choice to pick your struggle bus. Like, because I feel that you can either be a person like things happen to me or for me. And like people, I feel like with things that happen, who feel that like, oh, things happen to me, you aren't having the right choice of the struggle bus that you want to be on, if that makes sense. And then if you're a person who's like, oh, you know, this is kind of happening for me, you are choosing the struggle that you get to have, right? Because like, so the whole, and this is the thing I like to use a lot, because I always see it on the internet, where people be like, oh, you know, after this weekend, I don't even want to check my bank account. The ignore something and trying to like put blinders onto it, and that is it's giving up it's making you more powerless to the thing in itself. Because I feel like the longer and later that it progresses, the worse it could get, if that makes sense. So I also want to tie in, like I said earlier, the over promise, under deliver thing. Whatever it is that you're feeling or maybe expressing or like, you know, experiencing, don't try to heal the world in one day, because it's not for you time to be over promising, under delivering. I mean that even with yourself, because like I said, you could have just shut the fuck up. So just take things bite by bite, piece by piece, little by little. Less bitching, more witching. More than ever right now. This is a great time for you to, like I said, release those things that are holding you down and back, so that when we do shift into Sag season, you can fly like a bird, take to the sky, whatever song that is. Who's that? I don't know right now. But Jessica Simpson or something like that? I don't know. Because I feel like if you pick the wrong struggle bus, you can't act like you didn't know you picked the bus to get on. Like, you can't be ignoring a thing and then, like, you can't be like, oh, this is happening to me, and then, like, you had the chance for you to shift the perspective, for you to feel like it was happening for you. Because you can't participate in the things that hinder you and then act like you don't know that you auditioned for the role, got the call back, and now you starring in the show. Like, you can't do that, because that's not fair to you. So that's all I got for this week. Thanks for coming. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, turn the bell on. Come back next week as always. Yeah, you know how we end the show. Bitches be mad because they be hating. Bitches be hating because they be mad. Bye, y'all.